Okay. Measure for measure. Again, I've never heard of any of these. The only ones I've heard of: William Shakespeare, Cleopatra, and Julius Caesar. King Richard, the one that was shown on the on this, obviously. What else? Hamlet, off the top of my head. That's all I can think of. I've never heard of this. So, Measure for Measure, William Shakespeare.
Okay.
Scene, Vienna. Act 1, Scene 1, an apartment in the Duke's palace. Enter Duke, Aeschylus, lords, and attendants.
It's because you didn't say
Aeschylus, my lord, of government the properties to unfold, would seem to me to affect speech and discourse, since I am put to know that your own science succeeds in that the list of all advice my strength can give you. Then no more remains but that, to your sufficiency, as your worth is able, and let them work. The nature of our people, our cities' institutions, and the terms for common justice, yours as pregnant in, as art and practice hath enriched any that we remember. There is our commission, from which we would never have you warp. Call hither. I say, bid come before us, Angelo. What figure of us think you he will bear? For you must know we have with special soul elected him in our absence to supply, lent him our terror, dressed him with our love, and given his deputation all the organs of our own power. What think you of it? If any in Vienna be of worth to undergo such ample grace and honor, it is Lord Angelo. Look where he comes. Enter Angelo. Always obedient to your graces, will I come to know your pleasure. Angelo, there's a kind of character in thy life, that to the observer doth thy history fully unfold. Thyself and thy belongings are not thine own so proper, as to waste thyself upon thy virtues, they on thee. Heaven doth with us as we with torches do, not light them for themselves, for if our virtues did not go forth of us, 'twere all alike, as if we had them not. Spirits are not finally touched, but to fine issues, nor nature never lends the smallest scruple of her excellence. But like a thrifty goddess, she determines herself the glory of a creditor. Both thanks and use, but I do bend my speech to one that can but part of him and advertise. Hold therefore, Angelo. In our remove be thou at full ourself, mortality and mercy in Vienna. Live in thy tongue and heart, old Aeschylus. The first in question is thy secondary. Take thy commission. Now, good my lord, let there be some more tests made of my metal, before so noble and so great a figure be stamped upon it. No more evasion. We have with a leavened and prepared choice proceeded to you, therefore take your honors. Our haste from hence is of so quick condition, that it prefers itself, and leaves unquestioned matters of needful value. We shall write to you as time and our concerning shall importune how it goes with us, and do look to know what doth befall you here. So fare you well, to the hopeful execution do I leave you of your commission. Yet give leave, my lord, that we may bring you something on the way. My haste may not admit it, nor need you, on mine honor, have to do with any scruple. Your scope is as mine own, so to enforce or qualify the laws as to your soul seems good. Give me your hand, I'll privily away, I love the people, but do not like to stage me to their eyes, though it do well. I do not relish well their loud applause and aves vehement, nor do I think the man of safe discretion that does affect it. Once more fare you well. The heavens give safety to your purposes. Leave forth and bring you back in happiness. I thank you, fare you well. I shall desire you, sir, to give me to have free speech with you, and it concerns me to look into the bottom of my palace. A power I have, but what strength and nature I am not yet instructed. 'Tis so with me. Let us withdraw together, and we may soon our satisfaction have touching at that point. I'll wait upon your honor. Scene 2, a street. Enter Lucio and two gentlemen. If the duke with the other dukes come not composition with the king of Hungary, within all the dukes fall upon the king. Heaven grant us its peace, but not the king of Hungary's. Amen. Thou concludest like the sanctimonious pirate that went to sea with the 10 commandments, but scraped one out of the table. Thou shalt not steal? Aye, that he raised. Why, 'twas a commandment to command the captain and all the rest from their functions. They put forth to steal. There's not a soldier of us all that in the thanksgiving before meat doth relish the petition well that prays for peace. I never heard any soldiers dislike it. I believe thee, for I think you know. I believe thee, for I think thou never wast where grace was said. No? A dozen times at least. What's in meter? In any proportion or any language. I think, or in any religion. Aye, why not? Grace is grace, despite of all conscience. As for example, thou myself art a wicked villain, despite of all grace. Well, there went out a pair of shears between us. I grant, as there may between the list and the velvet, thou art the list, and now the velvet, thou art good velvet. Thou art a three-piled piece, I warrant thee. I had as lief be a list of an English kersey, as be piled as thou art piled for a French velvet. Do I speak feelingly now? I think thou dost, and indeed with most painful feeling of thy speech, I will out of thine own confession learn to begin thy health, but whilst I live forget to drink after thee. I think I have done myself wrong, have I not? Yes, that thou hast, whether thou art tainted or free. Behold, behold, where Madam Mitigation comes, I have purchased as many diseases from her belief as come to. To what I pray? Judge. To $3,000 a year. Aye, and more. French crown more. Thou art always figuring diseases in me, but thou art full of error, I am sound. Nay, not as one would say, healthy, but so sound of things that are hollow. Thy bones are hollow, and piety has made a feast of thee. Enter Mistress Overdone. How now? Which of your hips has the most profound sciatica? Well, well, there's one yonder, yester, arrested and carried to prison worth 5,000 of you all. Who's that, I pray thee? Marry, sir, that's Claudio, Signor, Claudio. Claudio to prison? 'Tis not so. Nay, but I know 'tis so. I saw him arrested, saw him carried away, and which is more, within these 3 days his head to be chopped off. But after all this fooling, I would not have it so. Art thou sure of this? I am too sure of it, and it is for getting Madame Julietta with child. Believe me, this may be. He promised to meet me 2 hours since, and he was ever precise in promise-keeping. Besides, you know, it draws something near to the speech we had to such a purpose. But most of all, agreeing with the proclamation. Away, let's learn the truth of it. Thus, what with the war, with the sweat, with the gallows, and with the poverty, I am custom shrunk. Enter Pompey. How now? What's the news with you? Yonder man is carried to prison. Well, what has he done? A woman. But what's his offense? Groping for trouts in a peculiar river. What, is there a maid with child by him? No, but there's a woman with maid by him. You have not heard of the proclamation, have you? What proclamation, man? All houses of resort in the suburbs of Vienna must be plucked down. And what shall become of those in the city? They shall stand for seed they had gone down to, but that wise burgher put in for them. But shall all our houses of resort in suburbs be pulled down? To the ground, mistress. Why, here's a change indeed in the commonwealth. What shall become of me? Come, fear not you, good counselors. Lack no clients. Thou you change your place, you need not change your trade. I'll be your chapster still. Courage, there will be pity taken on you. You that have worn your eyes almost out in the service, you will be considered. What to do here, Thomas Chapster? Let's withdraw. Here comes Signor Claudio, led by the provost to prison, and there's Madame Juliet. Enter Provost, Claudio, Juliet, and officers. Fellow, why dost thou show me thus to the world? Bear me to prison, where am I committed? I do it not in evil disposition, but from Lord Angelo by special charge. Thus can the demigod authority make us pay down for our offense by weight. The words of heaven, on whom it will, it will. On whom it will not, so yet still 'tis just. There's still a question mark, the Riddler. Re-enter Lucio and 2 gentlemen. Why, how now, Claudio? Whence comes this restraint?
I'm the devil, bro.
From too much liberty, much Lucio liberty. As surfeit is the father much fast, so every scope by the immoderate youth turns to restraint. Our natures do pursue like rats that raven down their proper bane, a thirsty evil, and with a drink we die. If I could speak so wisely under an arrest, I would send for certain of my creditors, and yet, to say the truth, I had as lief have the property of freedom as the morality of imprisonment. What's thy offence, Claudio? What but to speak of wood offence again? What is murder? No. Lechery? Call it so. Away, sir, you must go. One word, good friend. Lucio, a word. With you. 100, if it'll do you any good, is lechery, so looked after. Thus stands it with me upon a true contract. I got possession of Juliet's bed. You know the lady? She is fast my wife. Save that we do the denunciation lack of outward order, this come not to only for propagation of a dower remaining in the coffer of her friends, from whom we thought it meet to hide our love till time had made for them us. But it chances the stealth of our most mutual entertainment, with character too gross, is writ on Juliet. What child, perhaps? Unhappily even so, and the new deputy now for the Duke? Whether it be the fault the glimpse of newness, or whether that the body public be a horse whereon the governor doth ride, who newly in the seats that it may know he can command lets it straight feel the spur, whether the tyranny be in his place, or in his eminence that fills it up, I stagger in. But this new governor awakes me all the enrolled penalties, with have, like unscoured armory, hung by the wall. So long the 19 zodiacs have gone round, and none of them been sworn, and for a name, now puts the drowsy and neglected act freshly on me. 'Tis surely for a name. I warrant it is, and thy head stands so tickle on thy shoulders that a milkmaid, if she be in love, may sigh it off. Send after the Duke and appeal to him. I have done so, but he's not to be found. I prithee, Lucio, do me this kind service. This day my sister should the cloister enter, and there receive her approbation, acquaint her with the danger of my state, implore her in my voice that she make friends to the strict deputy, bid herself assay him. I have great hope in that, for in her youth there is a prong and speechless dialect, such as move men, besides she hath prosperous art, when she will play with reason and discourse, and well she can persuade. Yes, I pray she may, as well for the encouragement of the like, which else would stand under grievous imposition, as far for the enjoying of thy life. Would be so sorry she be thus foolishly lost at the game of tic-tac. I'll do to her. I thank you, good friend Lucio. Within 2 hours. Come, officer, away. Scene 3. A monastery. Enter Duke and Friar Thomas. No, holy father, throw away that thought. Believe not that the dribbling dart of love can pierce a complete bosom. Why I desire thee to give me secret harbor, hath a purpose more grave and wrinkled than the aims and ends of burning youth. May your grace speak of it? My holy sir, none better knows than you how I have ever loved the life removed, and held an idle price to haunt assemblies, where youth and cost and witless bravery keeps. I have delivered to Lord Angelo, a man of stricture and firm abstinence, my absolute power and place here in Vienna. No, dude, and it disposes me to rebel to Poland, for I have strewed it in the common ear, and so it is received. Now, pious sir, no, you will demand of me why I do this. Gladly, my lord, no. We have strict statutes and most biting laws, the needful bits and curbs to headstrong steeds, which for this 14 years we have let sleep, even like an overgrown lion in a cave that goes out to prey. Now, as fond fathers having backed up the threatening twigs of birch, only to stick it in the children's sight, but terror not to use in time the rod becomes more mocked than feared, so decrees dead to infliction to themselves are dead, and liberty plucks justice by the nose. The baby beats the nurse, and quite oftward goes all decorum. It rested in your grace to unloose this tide of justice when you pleased, and in the more dreadful would have seemed than in Lord Angelo. I do fear too dreadful, since 'twas my fault to give the people scope. 'Twould be my tyranny to strike and guard them for what I bid them do, for we bid this be done, when evil deeds have their premises passed, and not the punishment. Therefore indeed, my father, I have an Angelo imposed the office, who may in the ambush of my name strike home, and if my nature never in the sight, I do slander, and to behold his sway I will ask 'twere a brother of your order. Visit both prince and people, therefore I prithee, supply me with the habit and instruct me how I may perform it sin bear me like a true friar. More reasons for this action at our more leisure shall I render you. Only this one, Lord Angelo, is precise. Stands at a guard with envy, scarce confesses that his blood flows, or that his appetite is more to bread than stone. Hence shall we see, if power change purpose, what our scene would be. Scene 4, a nunnery. Enter Isabella and Francisco. And have your nuns no further privileges? Are not these large enough? Yes, truly, I speak not as desiring more, but rather wishing a more strict restraint upon this sisterhood, the votaress of St. Clair. Oh, peace be in this place. Who's that which calls? It is a man's voice. Gentle Isabella, turn you to the key, and know his business of him. You may, I know, not you are unsworn, we have vowed, and you must not speak with men, but in the presence of Prioress. Then if you speak, you must not show your face, or if you show your face, you must not speak. Because again, I pray you, answer him. Peace and prosperity, who is that cause? Interlucia. Hail, Virgin, if you be as those cheek roses, proclaim you are no less. Can you no stead me as bring me to the sight of Isabella, a novice of this place, and the fair sister to her unhappy brother Claudio? Why her unhappy brother? Let me ask, the rather for I now must make you know I am that Isabella and his sister. Gentle and fair, your brother kindly greets you. Not to be weary, with you he's in prison. Woe me for what? For that which if myself might be his judge, he should receive his punishment in thanks. No, he hath got his friend with child. Sir, make me not your story.
Goodbye.
It is
Piece
true.
of shit.
I would not, though 'tis my
On
familiar
camera,
sin, with
retard.
maids to seem the lapwing, and to jest, tongue far from heart, play with all virgins so. I hold you as a thing instinct and sainted, by your renouncement and immoral spirit. No, and so be talked with in sincerity, as with a saint. I'm telling you, no. You know. You do blaspheme the good in mocking me. Do not believe it. Fewness and truth, 'tis thus. Okay. Your brother and his lover have been embraced, as those that feed grow full, as blossoming time that from the seedness the bearer valor brings to teeming poison, even so her plenteous womb expresses his full tilth and husbandry. Some one with child by him, my cousin Juliet. Is she her cousin? Adoptedly, as schoolmates change their names, by vain though apt affection. She it is.
Oh, yeah, 9/11.
Oi,
Oh, yeah,
let them marry
9/11
her.
Was your shoulder blade?
This is the point. The Duke is very strangely gone from hence. Bore many gentlemen, myself being one, in hand and hope of action, but we do learn, by those that know the very nerves of state, his givings out were of infinite distance from his true meant design. Upon his place, and with full line of his authority, governs Lord Angelo, a man whose blood is very snow broth, one who never feels the wanton stings and motions of the sense, but doth rebate and blunt his natural edge, with prophets of the mind studying fast, he to give fear to use and liberty, which hath forlong run by the hideous law, as mice by lions hath picked out an act, under whose heavy sense your brother life falls into forfeit. He arrests him on it, and follows close the rigor of the statute to make him an example. All hope is gone.
Yeah, whatever.
Unless you have the grace by your fair prayer to soften Angelo, and that's my path of business twixt you and your poor brother. Doth he so seek his life? He censured him already, and as I hear, the provost hath a warrant for his execution.
I do.
Alas,
Yes.
what poor ability in me to do him good! I say, the power you have. My power? Alas, I doubt. Our doubts are traitors, and make us lose the good we oft might win, by fearing to attempt. Go to Lord Angelo, and let him learn to know when maidens sue. Men give like gods, but whom they weep and kneel. All their petitions are as freely theirs as they themselves would owe them. I'll see what I can do. But speedily. I will about it straight. No longer staying but to give the mother notice of affair. I humbly thank you. Commend me to my brother. Soon at night I'll send him certain word of my success. I'll take my leave of you. Good sir, adieu.
Tie.
Act 2 of Measure for Measure. William Shakespeare here. Scene 1. A hall in Angelo's house. Enter Angelo, Aeschylus, a justice, provost, officers, and other attendants. We must not make a scarecrow of the law, setting it up to fear the birds of prey, and let it keep one shape, till custom make it their perch and not their terror. Ay, but yet let's be keen and rather cut a little, than fall and bruise to death. Alas, this gentleman, whom I would save, had a most noble father, let but your honour know, whom I believe to boast straight in virtue, that in the working of your own affections had time cohered with place or place with wishing, or that the resolute acting of your blood could have attained the effect of your own purpose. Whether you had not some time in your life erred in this point which now you censure him, and pulled the law upon you, 'tis one thing to be tempted, Aeschylus, another thing to fall. I not deny, the jury, passing on the prisoner's life, may in the sworn 12 have a thief or two guiltier than him they try. What's open made to justice, the justice seizes, what know the laws that thieves do pass on thieves. 'Tis very pregnant. The jewel that we find, we stoop and take it because we see it, but what we do not see we tread upon, and never think of it. You may not so extenuate his offence, for I have had such faults, but rather tell me, when I, that censure him, do so offend, let mine own judgment pattern out my death, and nothing come impartial. Sir, he must die. Be it is as your wisdom will. Where is the provest? Here, if it like your honor. See that Claudio be executed by 9 tomorrow morning. Bring him his confessor. Let him be prepared for that the utmost of his pilgrimage. Well, heaven forgive him, and forgive us all. Some rise by sin, and some by virtue fall. Some run from breaks of ice, and answer none, and some condemn for a fault alone. Enter Elbow and officers, with Froth and Pompey. Come, bring them away. If these be good people in a common weal, that do nothing but use their abuses in common houses, I know not law. Bring them away. How now, sir? What's your name, and what's the matter? If it please your honor, I am the poor Duke's constable, and my name is Elbow. I do lean upon justice, sir, and do bring it in here before your good honor 2 notorious benefactors. Benefactors? Well, what benefactors are they? Are they not malefactors? If it please your honor, I know not well what they are, but precise villains they are. That I am sure of, and void of all profanation in the world that good Christians ought to have. This comes off well. Here's a wise officer. Go to, what quality are they of? Elbow is your name. Why dost thou not speak, Elbow? He cannot, sir. He's out at elbow. What are you, sir? He, sir, a tapster, sir, parcel bald, one that served a bad woman, whose house, sir, was, as they say, plucked down in the suburbs, and now she professes a hot house, which I think is a very ill house, too. How now? You know that? My wife, sir, whom I detest before heaven and your honor. How, thy wife? Aye, sir, whom I thank heaven is an honest woman. Dost thou detest her, therefore? I say, sir, I will detest myself also, as well as she, that this house, if it be not Baud's house, it is pity of her life, for it is naughty house. How dost thou know that, constable? Marry, sir, be my wife, who, if she had been a widow, Marry, sir, be my wife, who, if she had been a woman cardinally given, might have been accursed in fornication, adultery, and all uncleanness there.
Nah, I'm good.
By the woman's means? Aye, sir, by mistress overdone means. But as she spit in the face, as so she defied him. Sir, if it please your honor, this is not so. Prove it for these varlets there. Here, thou honorable man, prove it. Do you hear now he misplaces? Sir, she came in, great with child and longing, saving your honor's reverence. For stewed prunes, sir, we had but 2 in the houses, which at the very distance time stood, as it were, in a fruit dish, a dish of some thought 3 pence. Your honors have seen such dishes. They are not china dishes, but very good dishes. Go to, no matter for the dish, sir. No, indeed, sir, not of a pin. You are therein in the right. But to the point, as I say, the mistress Elbow singing, as I say, with child and being great-bellied, and longing, as I said, for prunes, and having but 2 in the dish, as I said, Master Froth here, this very man, having eaten the rest, as I said, and as I say, paying for them very honestly, for, as you know, Master Froth, I could not give you 3 pence again. No, indeed? Very well, you being then, if you be remembered, crackling the stones of the foresaid prunes. Aye, said I, did indeed. Why, very well, I telling you then, if you be remembered as such a one, and such a one, or past cure of the thing you wot of, unless you kept very good diet, as I told you. All this is true. Why, very well then. Come, you are a tedious fool, to the purpose. What was done to Elbow's wife, that he hath cause to complain of? Come me to what was done to her. Sir, your honor cannot come to that yet. No, sir, nor I mean it not. Sir, but you shall come to it, by your honour's leave, and I beseech you. Look into Master Froth here, sir, a man of 80 pound a year, whose father died at Hallowmas. Was not at Hallowmas Master Froth? Ah, hallowed eve. Why, very well, I hope here be truth. He, sir, sitting, as I say, in a lower chair, sir, 'twas in the bunch of grapes, where indeed you have the delight to sit, have you not? I have so, because it is an open room, and good for winters. Why, very well then, I hope here be trust. This will last out a night in Russia. When nights are longest here, I'll take my leave, and leave you to be hearing of the cause. Hoping you'll find good cause to whip them all. I think no less. Good morrow to your lordship. Now, sir, come on. What was done to Elbow's wife once more? Once, sir? There was nothing done to her once. I beseech you, sir, ask him what this man did to my wife. I beseech your honor, ask me. Well, sir, what did this gentleman do to her? I beseech you, sir, look at this gentleman's face. Good Master Froth, look upon his honor. 'Tis for a good purpose. Doth your honor mark his face? Aye, sir, very well. Nay, I beseech you, mark it well. Well, I do so. Doth your honor see any harm in his face? Why not? I'll be supposed upon a book his face and the worst thing about him. Good then, if his face be the worst thing about him, how could Master Frost do the constable wife any harm? I would know that of your honor. He's in the right, constable, what say you to it? First, and it's like you, the house is a respected house. Next, this is a respected fellow, and his mistress is a respected woman. By this hand, sir, his wife is a more respected person than any of us all. Varlet, thou liest, wicked Varlet, this time is yet to come that she was ever respected with man, woman, or child. Sir, she was respected with him before he married with her. Which is the wiser here? Justice or iniquity? Is this true? O thou caitiff, O thou Varlet, O thou wicked Hannibal! I respected with her before I was married to her. If ever I was respected with her, or she with me, let not your worship think me the poor duke's officer. Prove this, thou wicked Hannibal, or I'll have mine action a battery on thee. If he took you a box, oh the air, you might have your action a slander too. Mayor, I thank your good worship for it. What is it your worship pleasure I shall do with this wicked caitiff? Truly, offer, sir, because he hath some offences in him that thou wouldst discover if thou couldst. Let him continue in his courses till thou knowest what they are. Mary, I thank your worship for it. Thou seest, thou wicked Varlet. Now what's come thee? Thou art to continue now, thou Varlet, thou art to continue. Where were you born, friend? Here in Vienna, sir. Are you of 80 pounds a year? Yes, an't please you, sir. So, what trade are you of, sir? A tapster, a poor widow's tapster. Your mistress's name? Mistress Overdone. Hath she said any more than one husband? 9, sir, overdone by the last. 9. Come hither to me, Master Froth, I would not have you acquainted with tapsters. They will draw you, Master Froth, and you will hang them. Get you gone, and let me hear no more of you. I thank your worship. For mine own part, I'd never come into any room in a tap house, but I am drawn in. Well, no more of it, Master Froth. Farewell. Come you hither to me, Master Tapster. What's your name, Master Tapster? Pompey. What else? Bum, sir. Troth, and your bum is the greatest thing about you, so that in the beastliest sense you are in Pompey the Great. Pompey, you are partly a bawd. Pompey, howsoever you colour it, and be a papster, are you not? Come tell me true, it shall be the better for you. Truly, sir, I'm a poor fellow that would live. How would you live, Pompey? By being a bawd? What do you think of the trade, Pompey? It is an awful trade. If the law would allow it, sir. But the law would not allow it, Pompey, nor it shall not be allowed in Vienna. Does your worship mean to jail and display all the youth of the city? No, Pompey. Truly, sir, in my humble opinion, they will suit if your worship will take order. For your drabs and the knaves, you need not to fear the bawds. There are plenty orders beginning, I can tell you. It is but heading and hanging. If you head and hang all that offend, that wait for 10 years together, you'll be glad to add a commission for more heads if this law hold in Vienna 10 year. I'll rent the fairest house, and it's after 3 pace a bay. If you live to see the come to pass, slay Pompey told you so. Thank you, good Pompey, and in requital of your prophecy, hark you. I advise you, let me not find you before me again upon any complaint whatsoever. No, not for dwelling will you do. If I do, Pompey, I shall beat you to your tents, and through the shoot beat you to me. In plain dealing, Pompey, I shall have you whipped. So for this time, Pompey, fare you well. I thank your worship for your good counsel, but I shall follow as the flesh and fortune shall better determine. Whip me, No, no, let's Carmen whip his jade. The valiant heart's not whipped out of his trade.
Victory.
Come hither to me, Master Elbow. Come hither, Master Constable. How long have you been in this place of constable? 7 years and a half, sir. I thought by your readiness in the office you had continued in it some time. You say 7 years together? And a half, sir. Alas, it hath been great pains to you. They do you wrong to put you so oft up. Are there not men in your ward sufficient to serve it? Faith, sir, few have any wit in such matters. As they are chosen, they are glad to choose me for them. I do it for some piece of money, and go through it withal. Look to you bringing me in the names of some 6 or 7, the most sufficient of your parish. Do your worship's house, sir? To my house, fare you well. What's o'clock, think you? 11, sir. I pray you home to dinner with me. I humbly thank you. It grieves me for the death of Claudio, but there is no remedy. Lord Angelo is severe, Sumeria. It is but needful. Mercy is not itself that oft looks, so pardon it's still the nurse of second woe. But yet, poor Claudio, there is no remedy. Come, sir. Scene 2. Another room the same. Enter Provost and his servant. He's hearing of a cause. He will come straight. I'll tell him, have you? Pray you do. I'll know his pleasure. Maybe he will relent. Alas, he hath but as offended in a dream. All sex, all ages smack have his vice, and he to die for it. Enter Angelo. Now what's the matter, Provost? Is it your will Claudio shall die tomorrow? Did I not tell thee, yea, hadst thou not order? Why dost thou ask again? Lest I might be too rash, under your good correction I have seen, when after execution judgment hath repented ere his doom. Go to, let it be mine, do your office or give your place, and you shall well be spared. I crave your honour's pardon. What shall be done, sir, with the groaning Juliet? She's very near her hour. Dispose of her to some fitter place, and that with speed. Re-enter servant. Here's the sister of the man condemned desires access to you. Hath he a sister? Aye, my good lord, a very virtuous maid. And to be shortly of his sisterhood, if not already. Well, let it be admitted. See you the fornicatress be removed. Let her have a needful but not lavish means. There shall be order for it. Enter Isabella and Lucio. God save your honor. Stay a little while. You're welcome. What's your will? I am a woeful suitor to your honor. Please, what your honor will hear me. Well, what's your suit? There is a vice that most I do abhor, and most should meet the blow of justice, for which I not plead, but that I must, for which I must not plead, but I am at war to its will and will not. Well, the matter. I have a brother is condemned to die. I do beseech you, let it be his fault, and not my brother. Heaven give thee moving graces. Condemn the fault, and not the actor of it. Why, every fault's condemned ere it be done. Mine were thy very cipher of a function, to find the faults whose find stands in a record, and let go by the actor. Oh, just but severe law. I had a brother then, heaven keep your honor. Give't not or so, to keep him again and treat him. Kneel down before him, hang upon his gown, you are too cold. If you should need a pin, you could not with more tame a tongue desire it. To him I say, must he needs die? Maiden, no remedy. Yes, I do think that you might pardon him, and neither heaven nor man grieve at the mercy. I will not do't. But can you, if you would? Look what I will not, and that I cannot do. But might you do't, and do the world do wrong? If so, your heart were touched with the remorse as mine is to him. He's a sentenced, 'tis too late. You are too cold. Too late? Why no, I that do speak a word. May call it back again. Well, believe this. No ceremony that to great one longs, that the king crown, nor the deputy's sword, the marshal's truncheon, nor the judge's robe, become them with one half so good a grace as mercy does. If he had been as you, and you as he, you would have slipped like him, but he like you would not have been so stern. Pray you be gone. I would to heaven I had your potency, and you were Isabel. Should it then be thus? I would tell what 'twere to be a judge, and what a prisoner. I touch him, there's the vein. Your brother is a forfeit of the law, and you but waste your words. Alas, alas, why all the souls that were forfeit once, and he that might be the vantage best have took, found out the remedy? How would you be, if he, which is the top of judgment, should but judge as you are? Oy, I think on that mercy, when all the breath within your lips like man new made. Be you content, fair maid? It is in the law that I condemn your brother. Were he my kinsman brother or my son, it should be thus with him. He must die tomorrow. Tomorrow? Oi, that's sudden. Spare him, spare him. He's not prepared for death. Even for our kitchens, we will kill the fowl of season. Shall we serve heaven with less respect than we do minister to our gross selves? Good, good, my lord, bethank you. Who is it that hath died for this offence? There's many have committed it. Aye, well said. The law hath not been dead, though it hath slept. Those many had not dared to do the evil, if that the first that did the edict infringe had answered for his deed. Now 'tis awake, takes note of what is done, and like a prophet looks in a glass, shows that future evils either new or by reminiscence they conceived.
Damn, you're a bitch.
And so in
Marley,
progress,
you're a little
to be
bitch.
hatched
I
and
promise
born,
you,
are now
I'm
to
not
have no
gonna
successive
right.
degrees,
Get these
but
fucking
ere
out.
they live to end.
Enemy
Whoever
team
thought of this
Yet
was a
show some
goddamn
pity.
retard.
I show it most of all when I show justice, for then I pity those I do not know. Which is dismissed offense would after gall, and do him right, that answering one foul wrong, lives not to act another. Be satisfied. Your brother dies tomorrow, be content. So you must be the first that gives a sentence, and he that suffers. Oh, it is excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant. That's well said. Could great men thunder as Jove himself does? Jove would ne'er be quiet, for every petty officer would use his heaven for thunder, nothing but thunder, merciful heaven. Thou rather with thy sharp and sulphurous bolt splits the unwedgeable and gnarled oak, than the soft myrtle but man-proud man dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what he most assured, his glassy essence, like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as make the angels weep, who with our spleens would all themselves laugh mortal. Oh, to him, wench, he will relent. He's coming, I perceived. Pray heaven she win him. We cannot weigh our brother with ourself. Great men may jest with saints, 'tis wits in them, but in the less foul profanation. Thou'rt in the right, girl, more at that in the captain but a choleric word, which in the soldier is flat blasphemy. Art advised of that, more on't. Why do you put these sayings upon me? Because authority thou at her like others hath yet a kind of medicine in itself, that skins the vice at the top. Give it to your bosom, knock there, and ask your heart what it doth know. What's like my brother's fault? If it confess a natural's guiltness such as it is, let it not stand a thought upon your tongue against my brother's life. She speaks, and 'tis such sense that my sense breathes with it. Fare you well. Gentle, my lord, turn back. I will bethink me. Come again tomorrow. Hark, how I'll bribe you. Good my lord, turn back. How bribe me? I with such gifts that heaven shall share with you. You had merit all else. Not with fond sills of tested gold or stones whose rates are either rich or poor as fancy values them, but with true prayers that shall be up in heaven and enter there ere sunrise. Prayers from preserved souls, from fasting maids, whose minds are dedicate to nothing temporal. Well, come to me tomorrow. Go to 'tis well away. Heaven keep your honor safe. Amen, for I am that was going to be temptation, where prayers cross. At what hour tomorrow shall I attend your lordship? At any time for noon. Save your honor. From thee, even from thy virtue. What's this? What's this? Is this her fault or mine? The tempter or the tempted, who sins most? Ha! Not she nor doth she tempt, but it is I, that lying by the violet in the sun, do as the carrion does, not as the flower corrupt with the virtuous season. Can it be that modesty may betray our sense, that woman's lightness? Having waste ground enough, shall we desire to raise the sanctuary, and pitch our evils there? Oh, fie, fie, fie. What dost thou, or what art thou, Angelo? Dost thou desire her folly for those things that make her good? Oh, let her brother live. Thieves for the robbery have authority when judges steal themselves. What? Do I love her? That I desire to hear her speak again, and feast upon her eyes? What is't I dream on? O cunning enemy, that to catch a saint, with saints dost bait thy hook. Most dangerous is that temptation that doth goad us on to sin and loving virtue. Never could this trumpet, with all her double vigor, art and nature, once stir my temper, but this virtuous maid subdues me quite. Ever till now, when men were fond, I smiled and wondered how. Scene 3. A room in a prison. Enter Duke disguised as a friar and provost. Hail to you, provost, so I think you are. I am the provost. What your will, good friar? Bound by my charity and my blessed order, I come to visit the afflicted spirits. No. Here in the prison do me the common right to let me see them and make my know the nature of their crimes, that I may minister to them accordingly. I would do more than that if more were needful. Look here come once a gentlewoman of mine, who fallen in the flaws of her own youth, hath blistered her report. She is with child, and he that got it sentenced a young man more fit to do another such offense than die for this. Enter Juliet. When must he die? As I do think, tomorrow. I have provided for you, stay a while, and you shall be conducted. Repent you, fair one, of the sin you carry. I do and bear the shame most patiently. I'll teach you how shall arraign your conscience, and I try your penitence, if it be sound, or howly put on. I'll gladly learn. Love you the man that wronged you. Yes, I love the woman that wronged him. So then it seems your most offenseful act was mutually committed. Mutually? Then was your sin of heavier kind of then, his. I do confess it and repent it, father. 'Tis meet so, daughter, but lest you do repent. As that the sin hath brought you to this shame, which sorrow is always towards ourselves, not heaven. Showing we would not spare heaven as we love it, but as we stand in fear. I do repent me, as it is an evil, and take the shame with joy. There rests your partner, as I hear, must die tomorrow, and I am going with instruction to him. God's grace go with you, benedicite. Must die tomorrow, O injurious love, that respites me a life, whose very comfort is still a dying horror. 'Tis pity of him.
Okay, that's a serious
Scene
problem.
4, a room in
That's
Angela's
more of a
house.
problem.
Enter Angela.
I can't see who the fuck it is.
When I would pray and think, I
More
think
than a
and pray.
problem.
To several subjects heaven hath my empty words, whilst my invention here and not my tongue anchors on Isabel. Heaven in my mouth, as if I did not only chew his name. And in my heart the strong, the swelling evil of my conception, the state whereon I studied like a good thing, being often read, grown feared and tedious. Yeah, my gravity wherein let no man hear me. I take pride, could I with boot chains for an honor claim, with the air beat for vain. O place, O form, how often dost thou with thy case, thy habit, wrench off from fools, and tie the wiser souls to the false seed. Blood, thou art blood. Let's write good angel on the devil's horn, 'tis not the devil's crest. Enter a servant. How now? Who's there? One Isabella's sister. Desires access to you. Teach her the way. Oh heavens! Why does my blood thus muster to my heart, making both it unable for itself, and disposing all my other parts of necessity fitness? So play the foolish throngs with one that swims. Come all to help him, and so stop the error by which he should revive. And even so the general subject to a well-witched king. Quit their own part, and obsequious fondness crowd to his presence, where their untaught love must needs appear offense. Enter Isabella. How now, fair maid? I am come to know your pleasure, that you might know it would much better please me, than to demand what 'tis your brother cannot live. Even so, heaven keep your honor, yet may he live as while, and it may be, as long as you or I, yet he must die. Under your sentence, yeah, when I beseech you, that in his reprieve longer or sure, he may be so fitted, that his soul sicken not. Ah, fie! These filthy vices, it were as good to pardon him that hath from nature stolen a man already made, as to remit their saucy sweetness, that do coin heaven's image, and stamps or forbid, 'tis all as easy falsely to take away a life true made, as to put metal in restrained means to make a false one. To set down so in heaven, but not in earth. Say you so, then I shall pose you quickly. Which had you rather that the most just law, now look you brother's life for to redeem him? Give up your body to such sweet uncleanness as she that he hath stained. Sir, believe this, I had rather give him body than my soul. I talk not of your soul, our compelled sins stand more for number than for account. How say you? Nay, I'll not warrant that, for I cannot speak. Against the thing I say, answer to this. I know the voice of the recorded law. Pronounce a sentence on your brother's life. Might there not be a charity in sin to save this brother's life? Please you to do't, I'll take it as a peril to my soul. It is no sin at all, but charity. Please you to do't, at peril of your soul, were equal poise of sin and charity. That I do beg his life, if it be sin, heaven let me bear it. You're granting my suit, if that be sin, I'll make it my morn prayer, to have it added to the faults of mine, and nothing of your answer. Nay, but hear me, your sense pursues not mine. Either you are ignorant or seem so craftily, and that's not good. Let me be ignorant and in nothing good, but graciously to know I am no better. Thus wisdom wishes to appear most bright. Would it attack itself as the black mass, proclaim and enshield beauty 10 times louder than beauty could, displayed. But mark me to be received plain, I'll speak more
now.
close. Your brother is to die. So,
I can feel you messing with
and
it
his
too,
offense is
motherfucker.
so,
You're not
as it
covering
appears
up.
account
I'm
to the
not
law upon their
arguing.
pain. True. Admit
So
no
you're
other
not
way to save his
serious,
life,
are you?
as I subscribe not that nor any other, but in the loss of question that you, his
You're a
sister,
retard.
finding yourself desired of such a person, whose credit with the judge or own great place could fetch your brother from the manacles of the all-blessing law, and that were no earthly men to save him, but that either you must lay down the treasure of your body to this supposed, or else to let him suffer? What would you do?
Get off my tower, or I will
As
kill
much
you.
for my poor brother as myself, that is, were I under the terms of death.
Your team.
The impression of keen whips I'd wear as rubies, and strip myself to death as to a bed, that longing had them sick for, ere I'd yield my body up to shame. Then must your brother die, and 'twere the cheaper way, better 'twere a brother died at once, than that a sister by redeeming him should die forever.
Retard!
Were not you then as cruel as a sentence, that you have slandered so? Ignominy and ransom and free pardon, or of two houses,
There you go,
lawful
those are my
mercy,
eyeballs,
is
there you
nothing
go.
kin to foul
Keep
redemption.
it up, bitch.
You seem to
That's
flake
how
to
you're
make the
doing
law
it.
of tyrants, and rather proof
ain't
the
the weed,
fighting of your brother,
motherfucker.
and merriment than a vice. Pardon me, my lord, it oft falls out, to have what we have, we
Retard!
speak not what we mean.
I'm not
I
asking!
something do excuse the thing I hate, for his advantage that I
cannot
dearly
wait to
love.
break your
We are all
fucking neck.
frail, else let my brother die, if
It
not
ain't
in
a
fury,
joke,
but
dude.
only he, oh, and succeed thy weakness.
Not a joke.
Nay, women are frail too. Aye, as the glasses wear, they view themselves, which are as easy broke as they
Get
make
off the
forms.
tower.
Women, help heaven. Men, their creation, mar and profiting by them. Nay, cause 10 times trail. For we
Yeah,
are
you
soft as
fucking
our
weed, you
complexions are,
goddamn
and
nigger.
credulous
I
to
cannot
false
wait.
prince.
I cannot wait!
I think it
I'm
well,
not
and from
arguing
the
about it
testimony
either,
of your own
motherfucker.
sex, since
At
I suppose
all.
we are made to be no stronger than thoughts may
Keep it
shake
up,
our
bitch.
friends.
Keep it up,
Let
bitch.
me be
Every
bold.
goddamn flash is
I do
25
arrest your
fucking
words.
years.
Be that you
Congress,
are, that
I'm
is a
not
woman.
arguing.
If you be
At
more,
all.
you are none. If you be one,
Every
as you well
fucking
express,
flash.
all external warrants show it now by putting
This
on
is
the
a
destined
warrant to you,
livery.
Congress. I promise
I have
you
no
don't comply
tongue
with
but
me, I
one,
will
gentle my
shoot
lord.
you.
Let me entreat you speak the
That
former
includes the
language.
military.
Plainly conceive I
I'm not
love you.
arguing.
My brother did love
Fucking
Julia,
retard.
and you tell me that he shall die for me.
Yeah, it's the
He shall
weed,
not, Isabel,
bitch!
that you give my love.
I'm
I
not
know your
arguing
virtue
with
hath a
you.
license, which seem a little fouler than it is, to pluck on
I
others.
can't wait, ladies.
Believe
I
me on
cannot
my
wait.
honor. My words express my purpose. Ah,
Real.
let it honor to be much believed, and most pernicious purpose. Seeming, I will proclaim thee, Angelo, look for it. Sign me a present pardon for my brother, or with an outstretched throat I'll tell the world o'er what man thou art. Who will believe thee, Isabel,
dumb.
my unsoiled
You are
name,
dumb.
the austereness of my life, my vouch against you, and my place, I, the state, will so your accusation overweigh, that you shall be stifled in your own report to smell of calumny.
Oh, are you getting
I have
mad, you
begun,
little dumb
and now I
cunt?
give my
cannot
sensual
wait
race
to
the
break your
rein.
neck, big
Fit
boy.
thy
I
consent to my
cannot
sharp
fucking wait.
appetites, lay by all the nicety and prolixious
There we go.
blushes,
He's dead. Thank you.
that banish what they
You're
sue
dead,
for,
I think.
redeem thy brother by yielding up the body of my will, or else he must not only die the death, by the unkindness shall his death draw out to lingering sufferance.
I'm not arguing.
Answer me tomorrow, or by the affection that now guides me most, I'll prove a tyrant to him. As for you, say what you can, my false or ways are true. To whom I should complain? Did I tell this? Who would believe me? O perilous mouths, that bear in them one and the self-same tongue, either of condemnation or approved bidding the law, make courtesy to their will, hooking both right and wrong to the appetite to follow as it draws. I'll to my brother, though he hath fallen my prompture of the blood, he hath he in him such a mind of honor, that he had 20 heads to tender down on 20 bloody blocks, he'd yield them up before his sister should her body stoop to such abhorred pollution. Then
It ain't a
Isabel
joke, I will
live
kill you,
chaste
dude.
and brother die, more than our brother is our chastity, and I'll tell him yet of Angelo's request, and fit his mind to death for his soul's rest.
Show you how much you're not welcome. So that's the end of that. Yeah, we're not kidding with you. I'm not dealing with the shooting lasers and shit through a goddamn light bulb. As we were going through that. I'm not putting up with your shit at all. I will shoot you. End of discussion. I don't know who it is. I don't know where they're at. I don't give a fuck. If you come off that fucking base, I will goddamn lay you to waste, motherfucker. I promise you. Keep it up, bitch. You have the right to remain silent.